guys? X, Blizz, Subi. How's it going?
Pretty good. Pretty good.
All right. All right, so we're here to talk about Resident Evil 8. I know Blizz and Subi kind of joined in periodically, and X was there the whole time.
I sort of, yeah.
It was a blast.
It was
Yeah,
a
we went
long
through-
stream.
Yeah, from what? Once we got the game going from 9:30 till about 6:30 is when the credits started rolling.
Yeah, like 9:30 in the morning to 6:30, or not 9:30 at night to 6:30 in the morning. It was a long stream. Sadly, we couldn't do it on YouTube because we had to wait 24 hours before we could do anything on YouTube. So it was a learning experience.
Yeah, and unfortunately during that process, also the footage was lost. So, technical difficulties and all that fun stuff. But anyways, we're here to talk about it, just to give our review about it for anybody who really cares. But anyways, I'll start off by saying that was a pretty fun game. I'm not a big Resident Evil fan, but I had a really good time with it, honestly.
I mainly just had a good time watching it. There was a section there that I do believe I fell asleep in. I had just got done. Well, I had just got done working like a 12-hour shift. So then, more like a 13-hour shift because I didn't get home till like 7. So then we get the stream set up, and the next thing you know, I remember waking up to Paps battling Lady. How do you say her name? Dimis.
Lady Double.
Oh, you mean Miss Wagon?
Oh,
Dragging that wagon.
You was dragging that.
Yeah, you were like fighting her, and she had like wings and shit. It was crazy. I
And
must have been
shooting
asleep
at
for
the
like
body,
15
and I'm
minutes.
like, no, why don't you shoot the little fleshy white thing on top? He's like, oh yeah. Got her immediate reaction. Yeah, shoot that. That's all the advice I have for you.
It's about the actual game, the story itself, I'm not really a fan, man. I watched, besides that 15 minutes I fell asleep, I was watching the whole thing, and it was fucking weird. There was too many of these things where it was like, oh, you don't know how powerful this person is. We don't know how powerful this person is. But they never explained it. Ever.
Yeah, it was kind of like was it kind of would be like a show but don't tell type of scenario, because this baby, Ethan's baby, Rose, apparently, once again, if you're watching this, it's gonna be spoilers. Ethan's baby has powers and was dismembered, not shown in the game, but then everyone keeps talking about, oh, your baby has special properties, special powers, all this, all that. And then at the end, she talks about having, oh, I have powers that Chris doesn't even know I have. It's like, what are your powers? What are you?
Yeah, it didn't even make sense. How do you have such special powers as a baby, and then you get ripped in fucking pieces? Where were your powers then?
And apparently they all want it for her powers, and apparently this Lady Miranda, the big bad of the game, sorry, it's not Lady D, this Lady Miranda, she's over here like wants the baby to become her own daughter, to do, I don't know, she didn't really have a game plan, not like she wants to take over the world, but I don't know, I don't know what was going on in that.
Yeah, what about you, Blizz or Seaweed? Did you guys understand any of the story maybe that we didn't understand?
Well, the story was definitely seemed a little scattery. I feel like the game kind of emphasized itself around puzzles in a way. Just wanted to get you through a bunch of little quizzes, a couple jump scares,
But
change
even
my underwear.
most Resident Evils kind of have their puzzles and stuff. A lot of them have the crazy find 3 emblems to turn the water wheel and this type of thing. So
Yeah, find 3 emblems to turn a water wheel in a fucking police station. But yeah, it was,
I did like that part when we were figuring out the numbers, looking out the window, and that just straight freaking...
I do remember that. Yeah. No, it had a
like,
good
oh,
amount
light
of
up the
puzzles.
numbers a little bit.
Yeah, it had good actual puzzles. Like, I actually cared for the puzzles, and they weren't that hard. It was nice to be on stream with... I feel like it would have been maybe, hopefully, more people on YouTube. But, it was nice to be with the little group we were with and actually contributing to some of the puzzles or Paps's ever so amazing knife skills.
or my ability to get myself lost all the time.
Yeah, you have a fucking map. I never understood that. There's a map right in your hand, and you were just like, oh, I'm so turned around. I'm like, dude, I'm fucking glad this part's not on YouTube. People would just
Dude,
be
did you
leaving
look at the map?
Yeah,
I looked at the
listen.
map. I think the arrow's backwards.
I mean, sure, my navigational skills could use some work, but we can admit my reaction to shooting things when they pop out of nowhere is pretty top tier. Like when that werewolf popped through the mirror, went through the window during the numbers, looked through the window thing, and he popped out like, "Rah,"
Freaking
and I blew
blasted.
him away.
Yeah,
down.
exactly. Oh, let's
My
also
reaction time is there.
also a good nod to. It was almost a fucking no damage playthrough. I think the first time you died is when we went up against the big fish thing, and that
I
was like
know.
several hours into the freaking stream.
Yeah, like it's like no damage because his hand got cut off, but he put it back on. So
Anyways, back to like the actual story. Yeah, I didn't get it. There was too many. At first, it was, oh, you have no idea how powerful this baby is, and what she can do, but she was split in pieces in pickle jars. And then it was, you have no idea how powerful Mother Miranda is, but you never really saw that to the end. And then even then, it was more like just a random Dark Souls boss. And then all of a sudden it was Ethan. It's like, oh, you don't know what he is and what he can do and how powerful he is. It's like, well, then fucking tell me. Just tell me. What can he do?
Yeah, CB, I don't know if you got caught up on that plot, but I know you were gone during that part. But you find out that Ethan is actually a sludge, one of the sludge
Yeah,
monsters.
he's like a sludge.
He's made up
boy.
of sludge.
Yeah.
That's why he's able to
Straight up
reseal his
sludge?
hand. That explains why I think that's why they made it a point, like in this game, to make him like constantly get fucked up by getting his hand cut off. He gets stabbed. He gets all this shit.
the hell
But yeah,
What
has
happened
to
to his
be-
left hand?
It,
Anything
it was off. It never grew back. Look.
Oh, it grew back
Oh yeah, at the end.
after
it
you
did grow
find
back.
out
That's right.
he was a sludge.
He's like, oh shit, this whole time I could regrow my hand.
Yeah, I mean, Blizz,
Pretty
you were
much.
there for that. Remember, they figured out that whole time he was just a corpse. Like he had died in Louisiana in Resident Evil 7, and I don't even know what the fuck brought him back. But yeah, he was like a corpse sludge, and it was somebody. If he's just a walking
Interesting.
sludge corpse, how did he impregnate somebody? And why isn't she a walking sludge corpse? You know?
Maybe they're both like just pretty much walking sludges, because I mean she was pretty. I
Did she
mean, she
come
was
back?
constantly healing in the first one too, or in Resident Evil 7 too. She was constantly. She took an axe to the head or neck and then healed from that. So I think she's part sludge also.
I meant like his daughter.
Oh, the daughter? I mean, Mother Miranda did that little voodoo magic thing. Like she put all the vials into the thing, sent it down to Earth, did some black magic, and then out came a baby. So
Yeah, see, that doesn't fly with me, man. I don't get it. I don't know. I liked 7 better in terms of story and in terms of like how it played. It actually played like I was playing a Resident Evil game, whereas this one felt, at times, it felt so fast paced and so actiony. And then at times I could have swore they were just straight stealing stuff from Dark Souls. I was like, dude, this is Dark
Dark
Souls.
Souls or Bloodborne and all that. I mean, it definitely had that action segment there when you took control of Chris Redfield.
Oh,
And
that
then
was
you get that overpowered rifle that was putting down werewolves in like 3 or 4 shots. That was I mean, don't get me wrong. That's not Resident Evil, but I had a good time with that.
yeah, that was just Call of Duty. That was Resident Duty.
Just wanted to give you a little rage moment.
Pretty
Get the rage
much.
out.
And this, when you play as Ethan, you're pretty much going through the whole game struggling, scraping by bullets, and you're fighting, trying to pick off werewolves one at a time. You take control of Chris. You fight like 7 werewolves at once, and it's just like non-issue.
Yeah. You fight 7 werewolves. You can call in airstrikes. Everybody's got fucking
What?
nods on and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get to call in air.
Called airstrike?
Yeah.
hmm like 6 times.
Oh my god.
Look, the end
to
portion of the
rewatch that.
game just goes super fast. As soon as you take control of Chris, you're now playing Call of Duty.
Oh man.
I mean, it had
To
its
rewatch it.
it kind of balanced out. I mean, you have the high action section, but it also had what I would consider one of the more unsettling moments in Resident Evil, which
Oh, the
would be that
fucking
giant
baby.
fetus.
The baby. Oh god.
I wanted to bring that up. That was like the most intense part of the game to me.
It was out of nowhere. I mean, clearly we solving that puzzle with no weapons, so it felt kind of odd. And then I saw, oh, you can hide in a closet. Okay, probably this mannequin
That's
probably could come
weird.
to life. Exactly. He's like, that's weird. And then the umbilical cord, and I still wasn't expecting nothing. Then you just see that just like cooing and
The
It's
goo
like,
monster baby thing just wants to give you a hug with its mouth and face.
Yeah, that was at that point in time. If I was Ethan, I'd have just gave up on my kid. If that was my kid chasing me, I'd been like, no, no, there's no way, dude. I'm gonna make another one, even if I'm a sludge creature thing.
I'm just glad you didn't die in that scene. I didn't want to find out what happened.
oh, believe me, I YouTubed it like I think the day after just to see. Yeah, it's pretty much an instant kill, and what it does is the baby grabs you, and I mean, clearly you saw how wide its mouth opens.
Yeah.
It just swallows you whole. That's
Oh,
pretty
see,
much
that's
an
an
disgusting.
instant kill.
Would have been
You
terrifying.
can't
Yeah,
get
I'm so
touched.
happy. I would have been like mentally scarred that night going to bed if I saw that happen.
If I wasn't so exhausted, I may have had nightmares. But as soon as you like said we beat it, because my eyes were closed too at that point. I was opening and closing my eyes so many times at the end there, just because you had died a couple of times on Mother Miranda or whatever,
Mhm.
and then I was just like, fuck, this is killing me. I've been up for 27 hours, or
It
more.
was a struggle.
God.
We sat there and thought that, okay, we have the Magnum. We upgraded the Magnum's damage all the way to max output. We sold everything, most weapons to do that besides a shotgun and a sniper, thinking, 7 rounds of the Magnum and put her down. Nah, it didn't. It only brought her to like a third phase of the boss fight, and then I died.
That's like the king gun of Resident Evil.
Right? Had like, I don't forget the max attack power. It was 2600 or 4500 like attack power, and even then, that still couldn't put her down.
Yeah, it was fucking strong, and
The right Magnum? Was it the 44?
It's
it was
the only one in the game,
yeah, it's the only
Wolfsbane or
Magnum.
something.
It's an
But even
old
then,
little
she
Western
took it.
like revolver. It looked like a 45 long Colt or something, which isn't really a Magnum, but it was strong. It was really freaking strong.
Maybe I should have
Shit.
saved those 5 rounds I put into that one giant wolf with the hammer and just saved all those for the final
Oh,
boss.
no, fuck that. That made it so much easier though, because I was way too tired to pay attention to the real fight if that was a real thing.
Quick scopes the sniper.
Alright, so what about the gameplay though? Like, how'd you enjoy like the mechanics of the game, aiming, shooting, all that?
It felt good to me. It felt smooth. A little bit. I mean, there's only so much I can do with the shooting mechanics, and before
That
it
seemed a little
becomes-
blocky.
A tad. I mean, from what I've seen of other playthroughs, it's like there was like an aiming feature that I had on that other people tend to turn off, which I think like the acceleration or something that I kept on. So I guess it would have made my game smoother, but I mean, I didn't find no problems with it. Also getting off shots that I didn't think I would be able to get. That surprised you guys too. So,
You were playing with a controller, right?
oh yeah, of course. I can't figure out mouse and keyboard to save my life.
I don't have the fingers I don't have that long of fingers.
But
I
gameplay
can
was
see it probably
fine.
being smooth with the mouse.
Yeah, gameplay was fine. I liked it.
I mean, as long as it like, I guess everything played smooth, and whatnot. I didn't want them to be, at least from the looks of it, it looked like there was a little bit more emphasis in the shooting department than normal.
Yeah,
Did like the lighting, the ray tracing, the emotion in their faces. That's like a really big deal. And actually seeing all the emotions in their faces. Don't like that, like the Fallout type of eyeballs kind of tweaking out and stuff on certain games. But
they did well on the atmosphere of the game. For sure. When
I mean, graphically, this game looks phenomenal. Especially, most of us like console gamers running to, actually getting to play on PC and whatnot. It just looks freaking crazy. I mean, I played it on mine, and with the 3070 rolling at like 2K, 165 frames and shit, it looks fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, the atmosphere going from the village to the castle to the windmill, the mines. There's a lot more locations than I thought the game was gonna have. I thought it was just gonna be half the game in the village, half the game in the castle. But Capcom did pretty well keeping their cards close to their chests in terms of locations.
I was all about the daughters.
Yeah, I'm with Subi on the daughters thing because they look more normal. I don't care if there's blood around the mouth thing. We can work with that. I'll lick it off or something.
Just like we said, if we were fighting them, we would have been like, well, just take me.
Yeah,
Can have my man blood.
probably. Yeah, I wouldn't even put up a fight. Shit.
But yeah, I mean, you would go. I mean, yeah, you kind of go expecting Lady D to be the big bad, but I think that was just the internet taking off with holy shit, a hot tall MILF. But then you play the game and Lady D is the first boss, and that's like the very like I would say the first chapter of the game ends with her, and then you get the open area of okay, you have to get other 3 pieces of your baby here. Oh shit, there's more to
Yeah.
this.
That's when it really opened up the game.
And then, so as far as like the baby being split up too, going kind of back to the story, did anybody find that weird? Like, had they? I don't understand. If it's dead, then how is it useful? Like
'Cause
you
the baby's
ripped the
powerful.
baby, yeah, but how?
Especially if you don't know what's going on, you're grabbing the pieces of your baby.
I was also kind of hoping that freaking Ethan's wife was just straight dead, because in the very beginning of the game, Chris Redfield, who is also jacked and just kind of an asshole in this game, just rolls up through the window and RoboCops her ass like completely. But I knew something was
Straight-
up when like she got shot in the shoulder, that first shot that came through the window, and then she just kind of stared at the window. I'm like, is she not in pain?
I mean, it's kind of I mean, of course, that's probably to get you hooked in. Like, why the hell is Chris Redfield killing Mia? Like, what's going on? And then you find out that Mia there was Lady Miranda, because Lady Miranda can shapeshift. Mother
Yeah.
Miranda, you call her Lady Miranda, but Mother Miranda was actually Mia, and she's also the old lady. And I don't know who else she was, but I think that might have been it.
She could have been the fucking baby too, for all we know. Fuck. I didn't understand even after the credits rolled and it was the future. I don't know what timeline this all takes place, but I know the credits rolled and Ethan's baby that was a baby is now like fucking 18 years old.
18, so that would age Chris up about another 18 years. So I don't know how old Chris is even now, like 30 or 40. So now he's almost 60.
I don't know where they're going with the story or what they're trying to do. You know, Chris already had like white hairs in this and stuff, but if you're gonna continue the story from Ethan's daughter's point of view, then yeah, I don't get it.
Yeah, because for the number line, if they continue on to Resident Evil 9, continuation of 8, then that's going to put every character that we know old, in a sense. They're all
Yeah.
going to be like in their 40s or 50s now, so we're going to jump 18 years into the future.
Which
How do you think they're gonna change that? Like continue the series off of this? Because you know they're gonna keep that going.
The only way I can see them doing is if they say Resident Evil 7 or 8 or like a different timeline, just because of Chris Redfield's way different look in 7 to 8.
No, he has a different look in every fucking game. Every single game he's in, he just like after 5, he kind of kept that same look for a while, but then I don't fucking know. He
Seven
looked like
was more
Rock
jarring.
punching ability wasn't held within his arms. They needed to make sure that was still there.
yeah, that's right. Because in 7, he was kind of
He's
a
completely different.
totally different, a little frail, not boulder punching material.
Hell, I would say Resident Evil 8 Chris looks very close, like a transition from Resident Evil 6's Chris.
We don't speak of Resident Evil 6. That's not a real.
But that Chris looks like what Chris would look like in at least for Resident Evil 8, unlike 7, which was a complete jarring difference. So I don't know. I don't know where they're gonna go with Resident Evil 9 or what their plans are with that.
Yeah, and you know, for the people watching this, you probably already played the game, or if you haven't played the game, I'm gonna say go play it, but it's still weird, and be prepared for Chris to just look weird, and the whole story. Look, you're gonna know it's a weird story as soon as like you see werewolves riding horses. As soon as I saw that, I knew I was just fucked. I was like, I'm gonna stay up 27 hours for a game that I'm not gonna understand, because I don't get why a werewolf needs a horse, why a werewolf needs a machete, why any of this. I don't get it.
It did intrigue me. I assumed I was gonna get really sleepy and want to pass out. If I didn't have to leave, I would have stayed up through this whole thing.
Yeah, werewolves who can leap on buildings and all that, but they need horses for some reason. At that point, you know,
Yeah.
you gotta strap in, you're for a wild ride.
You're like,
What was the point of the
heck?
horse? I didn't get that.
And that was the only time you ever see them like on horseback.
Well, they did too. I didn't see that. Notice it.
No, they were live horses.
Yeah, the horses were alive, but why? Well, why would the horse be okay with the werewolf mounting it anyways? Like, how does that work?
They probably talk to each other. What's up? You busy?
If
You're
this
right.
game would have had the werewolves design from like fucking Underworld or something, you know, the more lichen-y lichen, not the wolfman-y thing, I'd have been scared shitless because that stuff is. Yeah, no, I'd have been scared.
Well, I think all these are from the. I mean, sorry for anybody watching, but I already forgot the name of the main virus thing, wasn't it? That Mithro, that whatever that thing that starts with the M.
Oh, right. Yeah, I
That's
forgot
the
it too.
main thing. So I'm guessing that's what they put into people that turns them
Yeah,
into
pretty-
werewolves.
They did a good job with all the other monsters they used. You know?
You sound like you're underwater.
Dude, do you have one of those waterproof mics?
Yeah, what the fuck?
Sick.
Snorkeling.
Sounds like you are.
Yeah, it sounds
But
terrible.
yeah,
Don't
I
speak.
don't think these are like. I don't think these are the traditional werewolves in that sense. Are all mutated from that whatever sludge virus is. I think that's what they determined it as. It's the sludge from 7.
From Umbrella.
Well, I mean, if the sludge from 7 is what made Ethan Hawke here, and it made them, why can't they be friends? They shouldn't even be attacking this dude.
He's like, I know Ethan should like cut off his arm and just put it back on, saying, "Look, I'm one of you."
The sludge thing like explains why I guess why he heals up a little bit, but then what was the point of the fucking peroxide? This whole time I thought the peroxide was the one that put his arm back on. I was like, that's impossible. I have
I thought
peroxide
that's
in my
what it did.
under my sink right now, and I'm gonna go damage myself and see if it just puts me back together.
You know, kind of. If you cut yourself.
Well, it doesn't like close the wound. It just
Looks like it.
stings
That's
it.
cool.
Maybe the peroxide of the first aid like stimulates the sludge healing process.
Oh, if that's the fucking case, I'd have just bathed in that beforehand.
So what happened to those last 2 fingers that was gone most of the time? Why do you never get those back? Is she
He
healed?
got him. He got him back at the end after Evelyn from 7 talks to him in like a dream state, saying, "Hey, you're the sludge, Ethan." And then he wakes back up, and then he has pretty much all his body parts back. But at that point, he's already deteriorating.
Yeah, he's kind of becoming the corpse that he was meant to be. So
Yeah.
still
Like, you're a sludge
an
now.
extremely odd storyline. I mean, we didn't really touch on everything that the story is, just because I don't necessarily remember it because I don't understand it. So anybody that does watch this, anybody that goes and plays it, just again be prepared for a weird story. Ethan is a sludge. Lady D is not the big bad, and her daughters are not the big bad. There's a bigger bad. Be prepared to hear you don't know how powerful I am a lot. And you'll probably never see the showcase of anybody's power, because the only time you get to see any bit of a showcase of people's power, they die like soon after because you kill them.
Half expecting his baby to be like Wesker jeans or something, get those cat eyes.
I was hoping that something of that nature would, pop up, but it didn't happen like that, And again, the baby was in pieces, so I don't necessarily understand that, but
The baby essence.
There you go.
it still doesn't make sense. I just feel like it was less of where they were going with 7. 7 felt good. 7 felt like kind of like a return to the roots, and it was very nice. And then this one,
Yeah.
I think somebody from like Resident Evil 6 sat on the fucking creative team, and he's like, "Bro, we need more action. Bro, we need way more action. We need Call of Duty." And then somebody from fucking Bloodborne is like, "Let me just explain to you how confusing of a story I can write."
They're wanting to open this up into a ton of different paths now.
Way too
And
many
then
different
the guy from PT walked in and was like, "Have you guys ever seen a giant fetus?"
Well, I was really hoping it would just kind of
See,
stick with the
if that
thing
was a
that 7 was
PT.
going. That was all.
hmm But I mean, if you go for it, if you get it, you're definitely getting your money's worth. It's far longer than 3, and then I would say it's longer than 7.
Yeah, it's longer than 7. I mean, it's. I think we beat it. We cleared it in like 7 hours and 45 minutes, and that's not at the hardest difficulty. I wasn't trying to be up, 60 hours.
It wasn't hard difficulty. You missed a lot of like the little hidden chests that pop up about halfway through the game, so you'll definitely get your money's worth, and it's a lot more enemy variety than 7. So you're not just fighting sludge monsters the whole entire time. So there's more game to it than 7, I would say. It was fun, regardless of the story, and just who knows where they're going with it.
And it was fun to watch. So if you really don't want to get it, just go watch it. I'd say go watch our stream and whatnot. But again, technical difficulties. We recorded the wrong screen. It had some funny parts. Actually, the most scariest part in the game was when a pig scared the shit out of all of us. That was the funniest part in the game and the scariest part of the game.
Do we have that clip?
No, we don't.
Well, I have it on the second display, but it doesn't have your guys' voices. It's just mine.
No, it has our voices. You have to put it in you got to put it in Premiere. That's how that always works.
We gotta have that. That's gotta be like a TikTok video or something.
Well, it's such a small. On the other screen, it's like a little tiny square, so you can barely see it. So I guess you'd have to like edit the video to where it's zoomed in or something.
Yeah.
We're gonna try and get that fucking clip, okay? Because the clip was good. We got scared. And what was the guy's Hey Poppy, the guy who was on our Twitch stream, who was like, "You guys are amazing."
Yeah.
Dude, I love that guy. Shout out to Hey Poppy, because you made that night so much better.
Poppy.
So everybody here, like, what about an overall rating? Out of 10, comparing it to other Resident Evils and just the overall experience we had.
I'd say, like I said, I'm not too familiar with all the Resident Evils, so I'll probably give like I guess you can say a newcomer's look at it. I'll probably give it an 8 out of 10. Gameplay is fun. Story can be a little weird at times, but I mean, you play games for the gameplay most of the time, and you'll definitely get your money's worth if you play it normally. If you want to go for the higher difficulties, it has a mercenaries mode, which should be playing in the background right now. So I'd say it's an 8 out of 10. It's a fun game. It has a good story, good enough story to it.
Okay, I mean, that's respectable. What about you, Subi?
I was about to give it like an 8.5 and stuff. I'd say 8 to 8.5. I'm not sure about replayability. It has good playability throughout the story, and you can really enjoy it, pay attention, and enjoy the graphics, and just it's kind of like a little movie every time you're in a cinematic scene. So that's kind of what I give it, an 8.5 out of 10.
Okay.
Very involved.
I was gonna go with the IGN rating there. That's cool. What about you? What about you, Blizz?
5.
Okay. Yeah, that's harsher than I expected.
Oh,
I think
5
say
out of
5
what,
out of
Blizz?
5.
Are you giving it?
8.
Are you the company that goes out of 5?
Well, that still sounds really horrible. So for me, I'm gonna give it probably a 7. Graphically, this game is fantastic. So if you're gonna get like a game and you want to run like max settings on your PC or whatever, you just want a game that looks really amazing. This game looks fantastic. That's where it really shined for me, especially now that I'm actually recording it and playing it right now. Like it looks fucking amazing. Story-wise, did not like it as much as I liked 7. Far more enjoyed 7. Gameplay-wise, I'm playing it right now. It's a little blocky at times with turning and everything, but it feels good. It feels a little bit shooter, a little bit Resident Evil. I wish they would have stuck with the way they were going with 7, and definitely doesn't beat out the best Resident Evil game in the series, which is RE2 Remake. So 7 out of 10 for me.
I mean, one last little note, shout out to the sound design of the team, because the sounds in the game are pretty amazing. Hearing the roars of the, what do you want to call them, the lichens and that baby,
Yeah,
some very
especially
unsettling good
the
sounds.
spatial awareness of everything. Everything comes from the right direction.
Yeah, overall fun game. I recommend it to people.
Yep, fun game.
Definitely playable.
Playable. Don't know about replayability. Hopefully Resident Evil Reverse, when that comes out, will have a little bit more replayability. That'll probably be on our channel, so stay tuned for that. Anyways, everybody, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and check out our other content.
Bye.
Adios.